lovely people, welcome back to my tutorial for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for your support. I sincerely appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. If this is your first time stopping by, kindly help us by hitting on that red icon to subscribe. Also touch the notification bell to be the first to be notified whenever I upload a new video. So now today's class we shall be looking at how to make a cowl kaftan gown. Okay, here so I have my 4 yards of adire, and the length of the gown that you're working with is 62 inches. So I added extra 1 inch for the folding. Okay, so for this, the measurement that I'll be needing is just the shoulder, the sleeve measurement, shoulder plus the sleeve measurement. Okay, then the under hip. Okay, or just 2 inches after the under hip. Okay, all right, so that is where the fall will be stopping. Okay, so here I have 15 inches from the waist line. So here is my waist. I have a waist of 16 inches. Then from that 16 inches I measured my under hip is 13 inches. So I added extra 2 inches to make it 15 inches. So this is where our fall will be stopping. Okay, so for the shoulder, you take your shoulder measurement, or you take your measurement from where you want the sleeve to be. Okay, then across the shoulder to the other sleeve to know what you want. Or you can take your shoulder measurement, the front and your sleeve measurement, then add it all together. So here I have my sleeve length to be 14 inches and the shoulder I'm working with is 16 inches. So what I will do now is just to add up everything together. So I have for the one sleeve is 14, so plus the other sleeve to give us 28 inches, plus 16 inches to give us 44 inches. So you divide that by 2. Whatever thing you have, you place it as your shoulder measurement. So when I divide it, I have 22 inches. So from this folded part, because here I folded my fabric into 4 inches. Okay, so from this folded part here, I'll take my 22 inches and I'll also add extra 1 inch for the folding of the sleeve. Okay, well, I can add it to 1, okay, just 1 inch for the folding. So I have 23 inches. Okay, so the next thing to do is to consider our neckline. Okay, looking at the picture of the neckline that we are working with, I'll be using a neck width of 3.5 inches, and the neck depth for the back I'll be using 1.5 inches, and for the front I'll be using 8 inches. Okay, for the front I'll be using 8 inches, and for the back I'll be using 1.5 inches. Okay, so I'll just connect this 1.5 to those 3.5 inches to the neck depth. Then this I will make a straight line to meet to those 8 inches. Because it's a V-neck line. Okay, so I'll just make a straight line here. Alright, so the next thing to do is to connect my shoulder sleeve. Coming to those 23 inches, I'll come down by 1.5 inches. Then I'll connect it from this 3.5. I'll connect to this 1.5 here. Okay. Okay, next thing to do is to take our armhole measurement, and the armhole I'm working with is 20 inches. So into 2 to give us 10 inches. So here I will mark my 10 inch. So just add extra 1 inch for allowance to make it 11 inches. So here now I'll come in by 1 inch here. So I'll have something like this. Then I'll connect this with a straight line this way. Why I come in here is for us to have an avenue for folding, okay? Because I'll be folding the sleeve. That is why I have this. Okay, sorry, I just discovered that the camera did not capture what I did. Okay, so here I came in by 3.5 inches for the shoulder, for the depth of the for the width of the neck, 3.5 inches, for the back 1.5, then for the front 8 inches. Okay, so I just connected them to the 3.5. So here at my shoulder line, I came down here by 1.5 inches for our shoulder slope. So I now connected it to the straight line to those 3.5 inches. Okay, so here again I came down by 10 inches, which is our armhole measurement, 20 divided by 2 to give us 10. I added extra 1 inch to make it 11 inches. Okay, so here I came in by 1 inch. Okay, so here we now serve as it's a folding for the armhole for the sleeve. Okay, so I'll just use this 1 inch for the folding of the sleeve. Okay. Okay, coming down to the under hip line where our fold will be stopping, we take our hip measurement here. So the hip I'm working with is 48 inches into 4 to give us 12 inches. So from here I will take my 12 inch. Then I will use 3 inches for my ease. Then 1 inch for seam allowance. So I'm supposed to come down from this armhole straight this way to meet up with this line. Okay, so here to meet up with this line from this armhole straight down here to meet up with this line. So the next thing to do is to go up here by, like, say 3 inches. So I'll just connect it this way. So I'll be having something like this at the end of the day. Okay. So from this seam allowance, I will just take it down straight to meet my hem line. Okay, so and that will be all. So here now we serve as the fold. So I'll just go ahead now and cut this out. So I will first of all cut out the back. So after cutting everything out, I have this. So the next thing to do is just to carefully separate the back from the front. Then I'll go ahead now and cut out the front neckline. So I'll go to my machine now, join the back and the front shoulder. Then I'll close up, fold up my sleeve, then close up this way. I'm going to stitch it out this way. I'll fold up here, then I'll use 1 inch to stitch up this. Just follow the shape down to the hemline. Then I'll fold down my hemline. We're coming to the neckline. As you can see at the picture, it has like 1 inch attachment that they use in the piping the front. Okay, so I'll be joining that to close up the front. Okay, so I'll use it to tape the front and the back neck together to bring out the V-neck shape properly, and that will be all. Okay, I've stitched off the both shoulders. I've joined the back and the front shoulder, and I've also folded my armhole. Okay, so the next thing to do now, when you look at the pics, you will see like 1 inch that they use in closing up the neck line area. Okay, so here I have my 3 inches when unfolded, but one folded I have 1.5. Okay, so I'll just use this 1/2 inch now to attach this at the neckline. So what you have to do is just for you to take your neckline measurement, just measure up this hole here, both the back and the front. Okay, so here I will start my stitching from this part, and I'll stitch from the right face of the dress. Okay, leaving some excess parts. So I'm going to stitch it up this way. I'm going to stitch it up this way. I'll go around the neck. So when I reach here now, to this point, I will stop. Then I'll cut out this excess. I just cut out an excess fabric. Okay, so because I can trim out the excess one that is remaining. So I'll stitch this up round. Okay, then I will flip this inward, those two inward. Then I will now cut out the excess parts, then turn this in, and it will give me something like this at the end of the day. Okay, so I'll just go ahead now, go to my machine and stitch this up. Okay, please note, initially I said you're going to stitch this up from those points, which is the center of the front, round to the neck, to the back, come down to this point again, as from this side round, then come down to this point again and stop. Please ignore that. Okay, you know we are going to be pushing in these two inside. Okay, so if you do it like that, you cannot be able to cross it over for it to wrap up well. So what you have to do is first come to this midpoint here, okay, which is the center front. Okay, so this is the midpoint. So what we have to do here is to measure this strip that we are using to tape the round neck, okay, minusing the inch that you'll be using to stitch up at the dress. So here we have 1 inch, okay, and this is the center front. So what you have to do here is just, I'm coming down by 0.7, I'm coming down by by 1.25. Okay, then at this 1.25 at the midpoint, I'll be using this 1 inch that we have at the strip of this fabric. Okay, so here I'll just put 1 inch and mark half inch at the both side. I'll mark half inch here. Then I'll also mark half inch here. Okay, I'll mark half inch at the both side. So I'll just connect them. So altogether here I'll be having 1 inch. So here now I will connect this up to this point. Then I will connect this to those points again. This way. Okay, I haven't done this now. I'll now go ahead and continue my stitching. So this way now, I will now stitch up and stop at this point. I'll now stitch this up and stop at this point. Then I'll stitch this one also and stop at this point. Okay. Okay, so now I've stitched this up. I've stitched this up to that mark, that one and 1.25 that we came down with. Okay, so the next thing I will do now is just to open up this way. You know, we connected it. This is the midpoint. Then we made the line from that 1 inch like this towards this point. Okay, and this side again. So I have to open this up like this and this way. Okay, so now I will now flip this inside like this and this one too. Okay, so at the end we have something like this. So I'll just go ahead now and make a straight stitch here to hold this frame this way. Okay, so after everything we have this. All right, so when you turn inward at the back face, you will see the excess. So you can just go ahead and trim this out, then wiggle around neck. So I'll just go ahead now and use the 1 inch and close the both side. Okay, so this is the result of our dress. This is the wrapping. Okay, right, so thank you so much for watching till the end. To meet in my next class. Love you all.